Assalamu alaikum. I have a common theme when I come before you, and it's always that I love you, and I love you in part of this community, and how all of you have a role in that. When I go back to the early days, when Imam Hanif said service, I remember last time we got up here, and Imam Farouk reminded me that I used to help him in the treasurer's office. I didn't remember that. My memory of him was walking in, and we were, it's not when we first started, but when we were over on Dowling Street, and there was a little window, and he was there in that beige FOI uniform, right? Sharp as a tack. I always say that their brother's been the glue that's held our community together, because through all our imams, and we've seen many in many locations, he was there. I had a conversation the other day about, I remember being the young person. I think I was probably 19 when I was looking for my relationship with God, and eventually ended up at the masjid. But being the young person, sitting on the floor, no children, no nothing, and then all of a sudden there were the babies. Then the babies got older, and everybody else came in, and they had babies, and now their babies are grown with babies. And it's just a wonderful thing to have been here that long. In terms of service, other than working with him, I was actually a lieutenant under Sister Daya, and that was fun. And Sister Musina, alhamdulillah. May Allah forgive her and grant her paradise. So we did that until Sister Daya went to California and found out the sisters were working and had money in their pockets. And we said, what does that mean? We had none. Cooking in the kitchen. We had wonderful cooks in the kitchen. I wasn't one of them. But I could, I'm a good sous chef, right? I'm still sous chef in the Camp Khalil. Yeah, that's what I do. Let's see, what else have we done? Clara Muhammad School was one of the best times of my life. I said it's a time where I could go and be the best Muslim I could be every day and do it with the children that were around and the sisters that were there, and with Imam T, with his silent way of guiding us. He didn't do us like Imam Eugene did us back in the day. He just, set by example. Eugene would walk through an MGT meeting and just turn out the light and keep going and wouldn't say a word. It wasn't like that. But experiences with each other, with those of you that were here then, having grown with you and lived with you and worked in the masjid together is unbeatable. There's just no way to explain that. I couldn't live in a city that didn't have a big community to belong to. Those of you that, the resources that we have here that are available, please appreciate them. And they've been here throughout the time. All kinds of classes and learning and, with the masters. And now they like us, and so they come to us. We thank you for being here today. It's always a joy when you come. So, Clara Muhammad School. And now that I'm older, and we have such wonderfully prepared young people coming behind us, I just try to work. I'm not trying to run anything or be in charge of nothing, but if something going on, call me because I'm there. That's my job. So that's all. Just service to the community. In my lifetime, doing stuff for Sister Messina was really like doing stuff for myself. I got to live that and appreciate that. And I equate this to that. So thank you for letting me be a part. Let me sit in on meetings when I don't have a whole lot to contribute till the day it's time to do the work. I appreciate you for that. You don't say, what are you on this phone for, sister? You're not even, okay. I'm listening, trying to find my place, trying to continue my service. And that was all until Allah shuts me down. I pray that I can continue being of service and know that it's strictly out of love. It is strictly and completely out of love. So I appreciate all of you. And I'm done. Assalamu alaikum.
So again, we thank you, Sister Naima, for your work, and your legacy will continue to live on through the deeds and the actions and the people's lives that you have touched. So we thank you again. So we'll move on to our next presenter, who was mentioned by Sister Naima. This young man, as he has gotten older in the community with his work, as she mentioned, he has been here since the beginning of this community, and he has served under the leadership of just about all the imams that have been in this community. And again, he doesn't need any introduction, and that is Imam Eugene Farouk. Takbir.
With God's name, the merciful benefactor, the merciful redeemer, we witness there is no God but God, and we witness the Prophet Muhammad is Allah's servant and his messenger. Assalamu alaikum. Well, I wish somebody would let me know that I was going to be on the program, but alhamdulillah. I'll just kind of be brief. I've been here since around 1971, 72, and I've seen quite a bit of progress in this community from back then up until now. And one thing that I've always prayed to Allah for was to see our community begin to take the life that promotes community life, and I'm seeing that come to being. We've had some wonderful leadership here, beginning with Imam Kamaluddin, and of course we had others in between, but the imams that stand out in my mind are Imam Kamaluddin, Imam Hayward Talib, Imam Kazim Ahmed, and also Imam Wazir Ali. And these brothers, they have done a very outstanding job in moving us forward towards community life. I was just thinking about Imam Kamaluddin just the other day, and somebody was saying, "Well, oh man, he was hard, he was, And many of us know that he had a nickname in Chicago. They called him the Dragon Slayer. But one thing I can say about Imam Kamaluddin, this brother was sincere, and if you had any weaknesses, he would purge those weaknesses out of you, So I have to attribute many of our accomplishments here in Houston due to the many things that he helped to accomplish. It seems like, it's kind of hard to say. I'm 71 years old now. I'll be 71 next month, and I'm still trying to pinch myself to see if it's real, and because I can remember when I first came in, I think I was about 20-something years old, and I look up now and say, 70? Is this real? But I guess it is, because I'm here now talking to you. But but at any rate, we've come a long way. We've made many accomplishments. We had a setback back in 2000, I think it was 2008, 2009, when the hurricane came through, and I was sharing with Imam Shuaib, who is another brother who has contributed much to this community and our progression and our moving forward. And I want to personally acknowledge him and thank him for that. I've been to Oakland a couple of times, and every time I go, I see progress. And inshallah, that progress in Oakland will continue, just like we pray that Allah blesses us to continue to progress here. But the test that we went through here in Houston, which began back when the hurricane hit, blew the top off of the building. Imam Muhammad had already told Imam Qasim that we should tear that building down and build something that would represent what we are as Muslim. And when Imam Qasim first told me what the Imam had said, I said, tear it down. I said, now, if we tear it down, what we going to do after that? You know? So, I mean, in other words, I couldn't see the vision right then, just to tear the place down, because even at that time, this, well, it was originally a church, and we converted it to a masjid, but we had one of the most prestigious and one of the most beautiful masjids in the whole country, you know, and it was basically, you know, a church, you see. But Imam Muhammad instructed us to say, tear it down and build something that will be reflective of what we represented, you know. So, you know, Qasim said it, and you know, we said, okay, we'll think about it. But Allah sent a storm and blew a hole in the roof, so we didn't have to think about it anymore. We moved to the library. We met in the library for about maybe a pretty good while. Our attendance dropped down to about, what, I think 17 or 18. The word was out that we were being chastised, and oh man, all kind of stuff was going on. But we stayed the course. We fundraised after fundraiser after fundraiser. We got a what do you call it? A disaster assistance loan for 300. I think it was 350,000, with the conditions that we raised the rest of the money. You know, and Imam Wazir, you know, I mean, I've seen fundraisers before, and I've told him this many times. Look here, the brother's good. I mean, you need to see him. I mean, he's good. You think Siraj Wahaj is good? Now, Siraj showed out the other night, you know. And I think he showed out because his friend was in the audience. He may have Kazim Ahmed. But if you see Wazir in action, man, look here. It's no, like when he told me the other day that we had 25,000 coming, it didn't even surprise me. I said, okay, you know, what's next? But praise be to Allah. I see we've come a long way, and inshallah He'll bless us to move forward in what we need to do in establishing Islamic community life. That's very much necessary, that we have something not only that would project the vision that we see, but it will also would project the vision for our children, because we really need something for those who are coming, this generation, the next generation, and the generations to come. I may not see the completion of this community center, because, you know, we don't know when Allah will take us. But at the same time, we have to look ahead. We have to look toward the future. We have to look for the benefit that will come up the line. So inshallah, I think things are moving very well now. I think I've said enough. I mean, I'm just talking as it comes to my head. So I'll just bring back up our host, and I guess he can bring on the next speaker. Thank you for listening to me. Assalamu alaikum.
Again, we'd like to thank our historian, Imam Eugene Farouk. And one day we have to sit him down and get the whole story from him, and we have to document it, because that is something that's very valuable and precious that we have to carry on as this community begins and continues to evolve. Sometimes when you do these type of events, you have to call on people who didn't know they were going to be called upon. But those individuals represent some of the foundation of this particular community, and that is Sister Lila. Yes. She got to look like you have Price is Right. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm so shocked because I was telling the sister back there, I said I could write a book.